I've been saying it. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. Every single day, we are being hacked. And now, the FBI wants you to use encrypted messaging apps because of the rising cyber threats. Let's talk about it. Hello, Warriors. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name's Fernando, and I am God's prepared warrior. Thank you for stopping by to watch the video today. So let's get into this. In light of escalating cyber threats, the FBI and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency have issued a critical advisory for all of us, and I want all of you guys to really listen into what they're telling us. They are recommending that all Americans transition from the standard text messaging on your phones to fully encrypted messaging applications to safeguard personal communications, right? Recently we've been hacked recently, right? I say that lightly because I've been talking about this for so long already that every day we are being hacked. And you probably, if you go back through all my videos, you will hear me say that often, that we are constantly being hacked. And so this recent cyber espionage activities have happened notably by the Chinese group called Salt Typhoon, have compromised major U.S. telecommunication networks, including AT&T and Verizon. And so these breaches have exposed unencrypted calls and text messaging, leaving sensitive information vulnerable to interception. So the FBI is recommending to counter these threats. They're recommending for us to use end-to-end encrypted messaging apps such as Signal and WhatsApp, right? These platforms ensure that only the communicating users can read the messages, and they're encrypted on both ends, right? Rendering intercepted data unreadable and or unauthorized parties from being able to read those things. So that's what they're recommending for all Americans, is to go to these apps so that our information is not compromised. So the action steps we should take as God's prepared warriors is pretty simple. I have 4 things for you. We should adopt the encrypted messaging apps, right? We should transition to using Signal. We should transition to using WhatsApp for all communications, because these 2 apps offer a robust end-to-end encryption, right? Another thing that I would encourage all of you to do is to update your devices regularly. You should go to your phone, you should go to your apps in your phone, and you should look to see which one of those things says there's an update, right? So you need to click on those updates and make sure that your phone, your apps are all updated, so that it ensures that your device is running the latest operating systems to protect against known vulnerabilities, right? So just like we have people hacking us every single day, and I'll say it again, uh, we have people on our side who are looking at vulnerabilities, and they're creating updates for all of our devices and all of our accounts and all of our apps, and so they give us updates so that because there's security packages inside those updates, and it's important for you to update those things. So if you are a person who does not write down your password, and you have maybe 50 Facebook's account because you forget your password, it's time for you to start remembering your password or writing them down or keeping a log hidden, locked away, so that periodically you're also changing the password to those things, because frequently I see on Facebook, not too long ago I had a friend and they're selling their truck, and I'm like, hey, tell me more about you selling your truck. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you sent me a message that you're selling your truck. And they're like, no. And it came out that they were hacked. So, somebody's trying to get money and they'll use your friend's account to get to you, and you'll fall for it because you think it's them. So make sure that you're changing your passwords on not just your accounts, but also on all your social media and things like that. It's so important, because it helps you. It gives you those latest operating systems, so that it can help safeguard your information, right? The next thing is you should enable multi-function authentication, to activate that on all of your accounts to give you an added layer of security. Also, you should stay informed, regularly consult trusted sources, right, for updates on cybersecurity threats and best practices. It's so important for you to stay vigilant and stay prepared, right? You will always hear that from me. So stay informed, and regularly consult trusted sources for your updates. Another thing I would like to talk about in this video is a P.A.S.E cybersecurity plan for you and your family. So what is P.A.S.E? If you look back at a few videos back, I also did a communications video and I talk about a P.A.S.E plan. But for this instance, P.A.S.E is primary, alternate, secondary, and emergency. And so this helps you as God's prepared warriors to secure your digital communication, right? So what does that P.A.S.E plan look like, right? So if you look at P.A.S.E as the acronym, we'll look at primary, right? Primary should be, in this instant, what we're talking about with what the FBI is saying is encrypted messaging, right? We should use end-to-end encrypted messaging apps such as Signal and WhatsApp, as they shared with us, as your primary means of communication, right? This is to help ensure that everyone in your family, or in your group or in your mag, whatever the case, um, it is to ensure that they use the same app to streamline communication, right? Everybody's on the same page. And then you should encourage your family to regularly update these apps to patch vulnerabilities and to maintain security. So that's primary. Your alternate it should be secure emails, right? You should set up secure email accounts with services like Proton Mail, right? I use Proton Mail, which offers encryption for sensitive communication. So important. Use emails for non-urgent or less frequent communication, but ensure that it's still encrypted, right? And then enable your multi-factor authentication on all of your accounts for added protection. I will also say here in this instant that you update your password for not just your social media, but also for your email periodically, so that nobody is breaking into your email and you're up to date on changing that information. Your secondary part of your P.A.S.E plan is private cellular communication, right? If possible, use private or satellite phones for backup communication. These can operate independently of compromised telecom networks, right? In case our telephones are out because they finally broke in and now they've taken that out, we have no communication there. We have these options of satellite phones as backup communication, so that we can continue to communicate. This ensures that everyone knows how to use these devices in case of a need to switch from encrypted apps, right? So have this system in place. It's so important. And practice with your preps. So if you have these things available, if you have a satellite phone, you have a private phone, use these, switch to them, right? You should be doing that periodically so that everybody knows what to do when that time comes, because the primary and the alternate are now out. So we're moving to our secondary communication plan. So that's something you should be doing with your family. And finally, in the P.A.S.E plan, E is for emergency, right? This should be in-person communication and or radio, right? You should have access to radios. These radios that I have, I don't know if you can see it because I'm looking at a different thing, but I have a UV5R ham radio, and then I have a Bofang GMR, GM15 Pro for GMRS. I'm a licensed GMRS operator, and so I'm able to communicate with my family because we have these radios, right? So it's important for you to know that to use GMRS, you are going to need to buy a license to have a ham radio. You are going to need to have a license to communicate when things are good, right? In an emergency, the licenses are kind of out the window because it's an emergency and you're able to communicate on these radios. So I would encourage you to seek the license so that way in the off time when everything's okay, you're able to communicate with your family and practice with these preps, right? So in case of total network outage, you use the handheld radios, like the GMRS radio or the ham radio, for emergency communication. This allows you to establish predetermined meeting points for in-person check-ins, and maybe you're bugging out to a location because all communications has gone down, and we're now in that kind of scenario. It also allows you to sit down with your family and then to develop a list of simple, secure codes, maybe phrases for conveying urgent information via unsecured channels. So make sure that you are putting together a P.A.S.E plan that works well with you and your family. Now, I want to share two spiritual things with you before I leave that are important. I think that go well with this, right? Because I always talk about the physical part of preparedness, and then I talk about the spiritual, right? So, on a spiritual perspective, right? Proverbs 22:3 tells us, "The prudent see danger," right? And they take refuge, but the simple keep going and they pay the penalty, right? As God's prepared warriors, it is our duty to remain vigilant and proactive, right? Stay vigilant, stay prepared is what I always say, right? This safeguards not only our physical well-being, but it also safeguards our digital presence. So it's important for us to be able to do that, right? Because we live in an era where cyber threats are increasingly sophisticated, and it's important for us, if the FBI is warning us of this thing, that we should not take this warning lightly. It should be something that we do now to prepare for the inevitable, right? Because they're hacking us every single day. Um, you know, and it's inevitable that we might have to go to our P.A.S.E plan. We might have to bug out, and so if we are in this preparedness mindset, we already know what we're doing because we've been practicing those things, right? So we just live in this era of these threats that are happening to us every day. So by implementing these measures into our daily routine, um, you know, we protect our personal information, and we uphold our commitment to preparedness and stewardship, right? The other spiritual part here I want to share with you, as we implement this P.A.S.E plan, we should also remember that Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 tells us, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it, right? So, similarly, guarding our communication and protecting our digital presence is part of being good stewards of the resources and the wisdom that God has given to us. So by staying proactive and united, right, bringing the family together, we can remain strong and prepared no matter what challenges arise. So guys, I hope this video was informal for you, and I don't know if you knew that this was happening in the background, and if you do, then you're prepared, right? Let's start implementing this plan with you and your family. If you didn't, I would encourage you to go to Google, look for the FBI warning, and how they're warning us that China is continuing to hack us. They've hacked us. Now they've hacked into our phone networks, and now they have information, and so now we have to move to different platforms so that our communication are safeguarded. So guys, I hope you like this video. I just want to encourage you to continue to subscribe to the channel, and for more insights, so that way you're up to date. My hope is to keep you informed and updated. Follow all of my social media. You'll find it in the description below, and just make sure you share our content, and let's get the word out about God's prepared warriors and how you can be God's prepared warrior also. Share this information with you and your family, and I look forward to meeting with you again. And you guys stay safe, stay prepared, stay vigilant, and God is with us wherever we go. So guys, have a great day. God's prepared warrior out. Hey guys, this is Fernando, God's prepared warrior. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel.